All right, so I was actually on the phone, and I probably should have recorded something that I did before I did it, but I probably pretty much right now I'm just gonna take everything out, take all the interior out, because I want to confirm that I need to swap over the body harness that's under here, and I just need to see exactly what it is that like the difference between this model and GTU, like, 'cause this one has power options and stuff like that. So I took out the seat, obviously that was already out. I took out the bins, which is just like 8 screws all around. Damn, that's a big mosquito. I just gotta finish. I think there's like, I gotta pry these open. There's like 2 little, I don't know what these are called. I gotta pop these out, and there's like 4 10mm bolts here that are pretty much holding onto this thing. There's some screws up here, I think 4. I took those out, so everything's pretty much loose. I just gotta take these out, and then it'll just kind of come out. So I'm gonna do that right now. The back is already out because the car just came like that. So yeah. Whew. All right, I just pried the little, I forgot what they're called, the little cubbies or whatever off. Came out in one piece because I mean, it's all conjoined. This one seems to be a little bit different, if I recall, from the S5 one, because this one's like 2, maybe they're both 2-piece, I don't know, but this one just felt like it was different. I don't know, from what I could see, I don't know, someone left a lot of nuts here. There's rust. I mean, all the padding is still intact. What I really want to do is get under this rug, but to take it out clean in one piece, because I do want to clean it and maybe give it to someone that may need it. In order to take the rug out in this car, the dash needs to come out, because it gets tucked underneath here and way deep down there. But for right now, I'm gonna take, I don't even know what these are called, the little side panels off, and then the headliner. The headliner, it's dirty, but it's clean, if that makes any sense. So like, there's no, like, obviously it's disgusting because it needs cleaning, but it's all one piece, like it's not messed up or anything. So I'm gonna start taking these out. I have to pop these. I just kind of have to take these screwdrivers off and just pop them even pressure so it doesn't break. So I'll get that done. All right, I just took these panels out here. Kind of figured out the trick to it. Well, I mean, it's kind of already well known, but after cracking a few of them for my shell, it's pretty much just even pressure. There's just one screw right there that goes here, and then it just kind of really just got to do it quick and fast for it just to come out in one piece without any cracks or anything like that. Same on that side. Now we can finally, you have to take this off in order to get to this inner tower, or the rear tower panel, and that's just a few clips right here, over here, and around the stereo speakers. So we'll take that out. There's also one down here, and hopefully we'll see no rust. So let's do it. All right, so I learned something today. Well, that's, you know, all the years of me having a base model GTU. Like I said, this one's a turbo too, so you have to kind of get in here in order to take this trim out, and this trim is to come out in order for this panel to come out. So I just realized that this one actually has like a sort of like weird subwoofer in the back. Like, I've never seen this. I'm almost positive this isn't aftermarket, maybe optional, I don't know. I've never seen this. Like I said, after all the years of owning a base model GTU, you know, I didn't have this. The car stock didn't even have speakers in the back, because some RX7s didn't have it. So this is just really interesting. I need to, kind of excited to get this open and see if I can upgrade it. But yeah, that's really cool. Wondering what name brand speakers these things came with or whatever. But I don't know. It can't be aftermarket because it doesn't look. Everything looks like OEM wiring. So. Gotta get deeper into it. All right, I already took that side off. So once you take this off, there's a one screw here. A lot of people don't know about this one, so they just pry this out and then end up cracking the whole piece. But as opposed to just prying it off, I like to take 2 screwdrivers and just go to each little end and apply even pressure so that it comes out in one piece. I wish I would have done that to my black one, because that one came out a little ugly. But once that's out, which that needs to come out anyways, and you could take out the little, this one has one up here, one down there and down there, and then it just comes out in one piece. And this is all in good shape. Unfortunately, I don't want gray interior. I have my black, so I'll probably give that to someone who needs it because it's in good shape. And as far as the add-on straps, they're in pretty bad shape, man. I can't lie. Like, so they're all rusted and oxidized. So probably just gonna have to either give that away or throw it away or something. But I can't see any rust anywhere in the corners or anything like that. I have to clean this up here. Usually the water gets in here, but it looks the padding, the OEM padding is still on there. No rust in there, which is extremely rare. Didn't have this. I don't know. I guess the previous owner must have taken the plate off. I don't know why, but I think I'm gonna end up using my fuel tank anyways because less miles and it's pretty clean. I don't know how clean this one is, but I don't know. That one has padding around the tower. I just know. Yeah, this one doesn't. So I have to figure out. I'm really hoping that all this wiring would just plug in and I don't have to replace it, because if I do, then I'm probably gonna end up losing all the little extra divots or have to wire this and like manually like integrate it into my other wiring, because this actually looks pretty cool to have. I mean, since it's already here, why not? But yeah, no rust anywhere from what I can see, anywhere in the corners where water could get trapped. I don't see anything. And given that this car was with a missing taillight this whole time and water could have went in, it's still really clean. So now I just gotta take that seat out. Probably just, yeah, I have to take the dash out first. Actually, no, I have to take the studs out and then get those panels out, and then we'll go from there. All right, I decided to leave that panel there for a little later just because I was really eager to get this seat out, which I did. It's just those 4 little bolts right there. And I wanted to tackle this dash. Now since this is a T2 model with like the optional surround sound, it had this really cool little mixer cassette deck, which I already have. I got one of these from the junkyard, but I wasn't able to use it on my GTU because I didn't have, like, again, I didn't really know anything about it, but you need like a special, it needs to be wired up for it essentially. But yeah, so I'm gonna run through the steps of taking the dash out, which is a little bit more complicated than what it should be. First thing you want to do obviously is take all this out. This one already has, it didn't have any of this, but there's these screws that you got to take out here. This one didn't have it. These 2 here that you need to take those out. There's also some screws here that they were already taken out. And obviously that you can only access that with the stereo deck out. I'm gonna be putting this out. This one's like, you gotta finagle with this a little bit because it's a little bit difficult to get the Logicon out. But I'm gonna hit that in a minute. Each side has these little panels here that you have to remove these and then kind of pull on this carpet to reveal a bolt on each side. So it's 2 there. We're also gonna have to take this panel off right here, which is going to have the screws for this in order to reveal 2 screws in the back that hold this, and that's on each side. And then we have to, this is where I messed up in my black dash. I thought the screws were under the vent, but there's actually, this piece right here is actually separate. This pops out and it reveals 3 bolts, 1 there, 1 in the middle, 1 on the left, that are a little tricky to get. Take those out. Gotta take this. I can't remember if there's one behind here. I think there is. I have to check. I can't remember. But yeah, so I'm gonna do that, and anything that I forget, I'm just gonna record it, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, so I popped that out. As you can see, there's 2 screws here to take this off. Now you don't have to take this out because you can see 2 bolts right there. I don't know if the camera could catch it, but you could reach it without taking this off, but I like to take it off, especially with a dash that's as a good condition as this one. I don't want to crack anything, so I don't believe the 3rd screw that's in here, I don't believe you need to take that out. I think that's just if you want to actually loosen, like the actual dash has a chassis in itself, and like if you just pop this out, it'll make it a lot easier. I don't know if you can see it there. Those 2, and it's the same exact thing for the driver's side. I just did the side first because obviously there's no door, so it's going to be easier. Yeah, so you take that out and move on to the next. Alright, moving on to this top of the dash part, which this part's never really explained too well, especially in the RX7 forums. So fortunately I had to learn this myself, and I almost messed up my black dash because of this. So this part right here is a completely separate part. I suggest using several screwdrivers, flatheads, whatever, to slowly work your way and prying it. Like as you can see, there's a clip right there, and you could also kind of see the, I don't know if you can see the screw there, but one screw is there in the right, another one's going to be in the middle, and then one more on the left. And these are probably the most annoying and hardest ones to get to. So yeah, just keep, as soon as you pry, just keep working your way down and removing it. Alright, so I took, let's see, this, I jimmied it out. I think I got one. Shit, you kind of gotta, there we go. And that, taking this out prevents you from fucking taking these out, which this is super fragile, but this one's like in good shape. And then taking this out exposes the 3 screws that you got to take out. Yeah, I gotta take this out, and then I think for the vent, but I'm not gonna take that out. I'm gonna leave that there. All right, so it's getting kind of dark, so I gotta do this quick. So I got the 2 out over here, the 2 bolts for the steering column that are 12s. So 10s, 12s, the 2 here on the side, one there, the 3 on top that are also 10s, and then it's the same thing but on the other side, the 2 that are there, and obviously 2 that are here, and just everything, all the gauge clusters need to come out because you just gotta kind of shimmy the harness out. Logicon is probably the most annoying thing because you can see the harness is back here, so you kind of have to grab it from here. It's probably the hardest thing to get out, and then you just gotta keep finagling it until it kind of just comes loose. You gotta make sure, I think there's a ground that needs to be taken out somewhere down here, but just kind of keep messing with it, and it will eventually pop loose.
You can just cut it.
Yeah. Alright, it's out. Not bad. You have to disconnect these plugs too, because that's part of the fucking harness, and then that one right there too. You have to get under the dash, and that one too, and then it'll come right out. Alright, I kind of ran out of time yesterday because the sun was going out and all that, but so I took that the dash out, and essentially what I need to do is I need to take this out because I want to look at the wiring. So in order for the rug to completely come out, you need to remove you know, just the blower and the AC unit and all this other crap, but primarily this here, and it's a little bit tricky. Obviously you got 2 bolts up here. These have little I don't know what these are called, just these little tabs that kind of just have to pry them up, and then they kind of just come out, and then you could remove and you can just remove the vents. These need to come out because it's got this little latch here that connects the other. And this one right here in particular is a little bit difficult to get to this one kind of screw. I know it's hard to see what's back there. Everything else is pretty straightforward. It's just two here. This one's got one up there. And I think, yeah, there's one right there. So it's only like, this one's only held on by like four little screws. And then you just kind of be really careful and just pry it out. So I'm gonna do that right now. All right, I think I kind of find it easier to start with the blower. So this one only has this one screw here. You have to disconnect all this harness crap. And there's this one little, I don't know what this is called, like a little latch screw that kind of connects to this box. And then you kind of just shimmy that out because that'll just release the pressure here. And like I said, this one has these two screws and then this really annoying one that's back there. I don't even know if you can see it. I mean, I could barely see it, but you shimmy it around, it could fit like an extension in there. It's 10. So I'm gonna do that now. And also this latch here that connects to the AC unit. All right, sorry, I almost forgot about these two. It's actually two screws right there, 1, 2, and this one has that one. So when I take that out, it should just come right out. All right, now that I have everything kind of out, I'll always remember to make sure the lines are disconnected. I haven't pulled this one out, but you gotta pull it out, or else when you tug on it, it won't come out. So it should just kind of come out. You kind of gotta give it a little tug because the this bottom little drain here is always a little bit of a little annoying, but it should just come out. All right, and that's pretty much it. Just gotta make sure that the hoses outside are cleared in order to push these through. And by that I mean the coolant lines, like those, the one that was there, these two. And just take the screws out, and then it should literally just come out. And yeah. And I guess that's probably a good time. Make sure you don't lose this because that's kind of irreplaceable. Probably a good time to kind of clean everything up and replace like blowers and stuff like that. But clearing that out then gives you access to the back end of the carpet, which is way back here. For whatever reason, you have to, I mean, you can, I guess, if you really didn't care for the carpet, you just kind of pick it up and just pull it as hard as you can. But this does, from the factory, have an adhesive underneath, so it's actually really hard. Even now that everything's out, you really have to like really pull to kind of get down there. You can see the adhesive. And so yeah, right now I'm just gonna pull this all out and finally take a look at the wiring. So there we go. All right, so to finish pulling out the carpet, there's 4 16 bolts, one for each seat belt, the latch hanger, and the actual seat belt itself. There's 16, so it's 1, 2, another one on this side, 3, and then that one 4. And then there's just random little tabs you gotta pop out, like this one here in the middle, one here, one over there, and also along there. I took out the dead stop, the footrest or whatever, but you don't have to, so I'm not gonna take it out on this one. And it should kind of just, from there, it should just pop out. So I think I might need 2 hands for this. I'm also gonna probably wear a mask because I don't know what the hell I'm about to find. So yeah, like look at that. So I'm gonna take this out real quick. All right, so that took a little longer than I expected, just because the rug was kind of stuck right here. See, there are small places where the rug does have like a bit of like an adhesive, which is like right along here, right along there, and like right here. But if you just carefully kind of tug, it'll come out. Sometimes it's a pain, like it was right now, it's a pain to clear the pedals. But I got it. This was water that was here because, again, this chassis had no door and it sat like this for several years. But even still, there's no rust. And I just released the plug here to kind of drain all the water. Still got to clean it up though. But I don't see any rust. And the ECU looks like it's never even been touched. So, I mean, it doesn't matter, I don't really need it. But now, I just gotta look at the wiring, basically, and see what the compatibility is like here with the, I know the front isn't gonna be compatible at all, but I was hoping that the back would at least be similar, so we'll see. Alright, so finally had to dig and get the answer myself because I was unable to get the answer from the forums or the internet. So question I had was, because the disconnect in the cabin harness happens right there at the fuse box. So I finally compared it from my S5 GTU to the one that's in this car, Turbo 2 S4, and the answer is no, they are not. Even the rear harness that goes all the way around the taillights is not compatible. So I need to change all of it. I immediately noticed it because even the part number in the harness was different. So I don't know if you can see that. Take a look for yourself. But I was just comparing just some wires, just like even simple ones like the ones that go up here like to the seat. The plugs are the same, but I mean, you know, the colors are different. I don't know if it will work. I mean, this one, my GTUS, obviously has less wires because of standard package or whatever. But honestly, I don't even know if I want to mess with it and even experiment. My whole theory about it is that if it was the same, then the part numbers would have been the same, but or at least even the wire colors, which the wire colors are not the same. For example, I'll go back and use this. This one's brown, red, and then black, and this one is yellow, red, and then green and black. So I don't want to risk the incompatibilities. So whatever option this car had that I may lose, I guess I'm just gonna have to just lose it and just switch the entire harness out. Yeah, so that's gonna be fun. But I just needed the answer, the definitive answer, and there it is. Is you have to switch everything if you're converting. Even the body tail light harness, which is all one piece. All that is one harness. And before I forget, I think a lot of people kind of might be asking, well, why the hell are you converting everything over? If you got an S4, why don't you just, you know, get an S4 motor? Well, motor that was in my other car was already S5, everything, and you know, to convert everything from my motor, which is way over there, to convert everything back to S4 and then put it in here to be compatible with this car, it's just, it'll just be easier just to swap the harnesses, honestly. Because I had to switch everything over anyway, since this car doesn't have black interior and or cleaner interior, I guess I should say. It's just for me, it'll be easier. Like I know that S4s are easier apparently to work with, or less demanding, but it doesn't matter because I'm running standalone either way. So I mean, yeah, it's just, for me, it'd be better this way. It's more work, but it's work that I have to do regardless, because I was gonna take all the interior out regardless. So yeah, so that's why I'm doing it. All right, just to kind of finish the interior, I'm gonna take these back panels off and then move on to the headliner, because usually these sunroofs are almost always like just rusted out. So I need to find out if I need to replace that, but this is pretty simple. So just take that out. You gotta take seat belt. And these little tabs. You have to take this out, which I propped it up with this broom, and then same on both sides. Should be pretty easy. All right, sorry for the background noise, but I took the little B pillar panels off or whatever, and underneath it, to take the headliner off, there's these little tabs here. So you got 1, 2, 3. Also, to remove those little B pillars, there's this little strip here that's right up here that you need to kind of just pry that open. It comes right off. As well as the front here, this little panel right here, it's metal. You got to take these screws off. The screw up right there, screw right there, and also got to remove these window visors right there, as well as if you pop this open, there should be 2 screws in there, and I believe there's 1 in here, and then it just comes off, and then from there it's just a matter of prying carefully. And yeah, I need to see if I have any rust on the sunroof. And this thing right here is just broken just right here, which I have that little piece, but I already know that as soon as I try to take this off, this thing's gonna crack. This is the most fragile part in the whole car, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, now that I got all the tabs out inside and all that, kind of have to trim this outline right here from the sunroof. Kind of have to get a like a screwdriver and very carefully pry it upwards. This is aluminum, so it's easy to bend, as you can see right here. I mean, you could put it, kind of mold it back, but this needs to be released because it's kind of like latched on to the as you can see right there. So after that, you could it should just fall right out. So let's do that. All right. See there, it's coming out. Now you just gotta kind of pry it upwards like that and get it out of that little kind of lip thing right there. And then it'll slowly just kind of need 2 hands for this one. I'm gonna have to put the camera down. All right, that's pretty much it. And to my surprise, this car, which is 3 years older than my S5, has very minimal rust just right there, and that's it. My S5 had all this rusted right here, as well as all this right here. So yeah, I mean, I still want to take it down just to recondition the sunroof. That's the entire sunroof is over there, by the way. It's actually in really good shape. It's just really dirty. So that's basically it. That's the entire interior. All the interior is out with the exception of this little piece, which I'll probably take that out in another video, but it's really simple. You just gotta turn this towards the right to open it, and when it lifts up, you could just kind of pry this little thing off and then apply pressure. It's got like 6 little tabs that you gotta force out, even pressure. But that's pretty much it. That's the whole interior. Everything's out, exposed. And yeah, I guess in this next video I'm gonna start swapping over all the wiring and see if I could keep a few things, such as the light that I forgot what that's called, just the strut light for the back, as well as this wiper, which is pretty cool because mine doesn't have the wiring for that. So let me see if I can integrate it, as well as the speakers for back here. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this video. Peace.